everybody. Here we are for KristaNorris's wonderful showcase Blab. You're about my fifth person now, so I'm getting in the swing of it.
Nice, nice. I like it.
Record it.
Okay.
So just so that if anybody is hooking on or watching this in the future and doesn't know what we're doing here, we are co-members of the Healing Club and the Spiritual Entrepreneur Resource. They're groups that I host. I'm Sarah Ann Negus, modern day shaman and the healer's healer. I work with other healers in helping them to expand their gifts, particularly if they're emerging or they're intuitive coaches and they need some guidance on their boundaries and how to be more connected, which is what everybody's looking for, really. More information, more connected, more information. And the groups that we're on are set up in a spirit of collaboration and non-competition. So I thought it would be a really lovely idea to introduce everybody and get them to come on and tell us about what they do, because we hear on everybody's posts what they do, but we don't often get to talk to them. Particularly you, Krista. I've been talking to you on Facebook for months, but we haven't actually ever said properly hello, and I kind of wanted to do that, so hello.
Thank you. Hello.
And pass it over a little bit here and get you to tell us all what and who you are.
Thank you so much. First, thank you so much for this opportunity, Sarah.
My pleasure.
It's so kind of you, and honestly, I'm really, really grateful. So thank you, first off. And secondly, I am an intuitive transformational healer and coach. I'm also an intuitive channel. What that means is that for whoever I'm working with, I'm able to help them to get to the root of whatever it is that is holding them back, whatever is at the core, at the root level. So oftentimes these blocks or obstacles may come in the form of hidden beliefs. They may be fears. They may be physical things that someone is going through, such as having difficulty getting clients. Let's say they're trying to speak publicly and things keep going wrong. A lot of these sort of energetic root level situations or fears or hidden beliefs can have a physical manifestation. We can have reflections of what's going on internally in the external world. So what I'm able to help people to do is to look at, okay, where are you now? Where would you like to be? And what is getting in the way? And so literally I help them to tap into, and we get to the very core root level. So oftentimes the original instance, for a lot of people, it's happened earlier in life. So we look at what happened then.
I usually find that whatever is going on in somebody's inner world is manifesting in their life.
Yeah.
So that's really valid. And gosh, worth its weight in gold, I imagine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And having that, one, finally understanding what's going on can be really freeing and really empowering. And two, being able to literally feel that release, to feel that lighten from you, it's an incredible feeling. And to have that, again, as you said also, to have that reflected in an external shift, to have things suddenly be going more smoothly, easier, to not feel the same fears or anxieties or worries that you previously had. It's a world of difference.
Yeah, I'm sure. That sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
So you're not English, but I know that you live in London.
Yeah.
Where are you from initially?
So I'm originally from a town called Boulder in Colorado in the US. I've lived in London since, I think, February 2002. So for quite a while. We'll see where I go next. I'm kind of getting itchy feet, so yeah. So
is that what kind of pushed you towards becoming an online entrepreneur? The fact that you were displaced from your home, really, and maybe didn't have such a huge network here? How and what inspired you?
Sorry, yeah, that's part of it. I mean, if I go back, I've been online since, I've got to think about this, since 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been on online chat forums. There was a blogging forum some of the people watching might remember called LiveJournal. There are still people on LiveJournal as well. A really big community came out of that. And so I've been online since 2000. I started blogging in probably 2001. And so the idea of being online is something that has felt, I suppose, on one level quite natural for me, because maybe partly because I've been doing it for as long as I have, but also, yeah, living abroad, it helps to be able to keep in touch with people. You know, the fact that we live in this world where we can be so connected this way is, one, amazing, and two, it makes it, yeah, so much easier to keep in touch with people. So the idea of being online is a very natural fit.
Right. Yeah. Do you have a practice where you have clients face to face as well in London here, or are you just specifically an online?
I have had clients face to face as well. That's actually how I started out.
Okay.
And it's kind of funny, but on one level, you know, it's not funny. Of course, all of these things are very divinely aligned. I realized that a lot of my client base in face-to-face sessions, it was just kind of filtering off. And it wasn't happening the way it did at first. And there were all sorts of things getting in the way, and it wasn't working out. And so it was, yeah, I suppose on one level, the universe saying to me, yeah, this isn't really for you. Let's do it a different way.
I think that when we just work purely with energy, it's very much more powerful than actually if we have all of our physical filters. So if we meet somebody face to face, immediately our cultural judgments come in, whether or not we're sitting trying for that not to happen. It just does. It's unconscious. Yet if we are working with somebody online and we're not looking at them, you know, we often, I mean, I particularly do Uber conference, so I don't even see people. You can really read the energy. I don't know if that's your experience as well.
Definitely. I agree with that. And it's interesting you say that because, you know, about it being difficult not to have cultural things clash, because I never would have said that. But that's one thing that living abroad has taught me, that as liberal and free thinking and, you know, loving as I know I am, you can't help but have a little bit of the way you were brought up and where you come from come into your sessions sometimes when you're working with people face to face. And it's not fair either. You know, I wouldn't want that as a client, and it's not just, I don't want to dissuade people if they do meet with someone face to face. It doesn't mean someone's gonna.
No, I'm just trying to outline and underpin the power of distance work, of not having any kind of perception. Having no perception of anything, and then actually just working with what comes to you, can be something that gives you so much information, because your own filters block you. They block your channel. So I think that's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, definitely. And sorry, I think I misunderstood what you meant.
No,
I completely agree with that. And it's also been really nice because for me, and maybe some people watching this will relate to this as well, I've had a lot of fears in my own past about my own strength and my own abilities and my own power. Power in terms of my ability to tap into energy to help other people. And so, yes, what you said is completely spot on, that when you aren't face-to-face, it almost forces you to tap into those other abilities that you have.
Yeah, you have to do something different than what you know, it's an innate thing. I love that, and I love that about the online world. I think it really brings everybody up.
Yes, definitely.
Krista, you did cover a little bit when we began how you help people, but we haven't actually worked together at all, I don't think. Oh, we've had one very short hello session, haven't we, in preparation for this call.
Yeah.
But if I'm a stranger to you in terms of your work, really, tell me how it would help me.
Okay, so let's say, well, first I should preface, I work with women all around the world. Again, that's not how I started out. I was open to working with men as well, but it became more aligned working with women. I work with women, mainly I realized, who are business owners themselves. So what I would be able to do to help you as a female business owner is to help you look at where are you now in your life, where are you now in your business. These things are very interlinked. It's not as if we have an issue and it's confined just to one area of our life or our world, I should say. Inevitably, it will start to filter into other areas as well. So we look at where are you currently, where would you like to be, say 6 months from now, a year from now, 3 years from now, and what are you currently experiencing that you can already feel is getting in your way. I have a lot of clients coming to me for a spectrum of things, but many times I will hear things such as, I have a fear of being visible. I'm worried about what I'm putting out or what I'll say to people, that they may not take me seriously. They may not think I'm good enough to sign up for. A lot of money, energy worries. There's a lot of money worry. That I would say half and half. It filters through to relationship issues as well. Being worried about their business taking away from their time with their family, which can contribute to self-doubt. So you kind of get the sense of how these things can spiral. And so what I would be able to help women with is to look at, okay, what are you currently experiencing and how can I help you to get to what is at the root and the core of why those things are happening in the first place.
So you work on their self, on their wounding, their original wounding. Okay.
Yeah.
And that will have a massive knock-on effect into every aspect of their life, not just their business.
Yes, absolutely. The way I like to visualize it, and I'm trying to remember. I think you've used this analogy before, from what I've seen. That a lot of times our issues, whether it's a hidden belief or a money worry, whatever it is, you can imagine like it's at, let's say this is an onion.
Yeah.
And then at the core of the onion is whatever is the energetic issue that's happening. And it can be, by energetic issue, I mean it can be, say, a childhood experience you had. It could be a fear you have. It could be something you went through older, as you went older or became older in life. Okay. Anyway, so that's at the core. And then as we go through our journeys and we continue forth and we have, any healing, we work with any coaches, mentors, as we do those things, we are always taking off a layer of that onion. And as we go through and we're taking off layers, what we're taking off is the aspects of that original energetic core that has seeped through each layer. And the way it seeps through each layer can differ. Yep. On some layers, there's more of that energetic issue, whatever it is. There's more of it on one layer than another. But as we get down to the core, you get to the root. You get to the original cause of why that is an issue for you at all.
I understand that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Talk about that really passionately, and I wonder, along your own life's journey, has that been something that's happened to you? Have you had like aha moments that have pushed you along? I kind of call them epiphanies that have shown you a way, and for me, it's always happened in my own body and in my own life. I wonder if it's the same.
Yes, definitely. Short answer. Most definitely. Longer answer, but not too long, but longer answer is that really, if I go back, some of what my own journey has taught me is some of these things were in place from the time I was 3. That's not going to be the case for everyone. But for me, some of it can be traced back to around when I was 3, if not a little bit earlier. Mm-hmm. When I first became aware that things weren't working well in my life was more when I was in my late teens. Mm-hmm. And I've always been a seeker of knowledge. I've always been very passionate about things. I've always loved learning myself. Personal development has always been really big in my life. My mom is a therapist, so I grew up with things like Psychology Today magazine, which literally I remember being 7 and reading for fun.
I'm not sure you should tell anyone about that.
I just have, yeah. But I've always been passionate about learning and about how do we work? What makes us work as human beings? How does our mind work? How does that play out in our relationships with people? So that's always been a real love of mine. And then when I started to realize certain aspects of my life weren't working as well, I was able to kind of tap in to that early learning and early exposure, I suppose, to psychology, sociology, etc. When I was 15, I had a real spiritual awakening. Mm-hmm. And I started exploring loads of different religions. I grew up in a Baptist Christian church. I actually used to teach Sunday school. Wow. And yeah, the 7-year-olds, yeah. And so when I was 15, I became very disillusioned with the church due to various things that were happening and that I saw. And so at that point, I went on a real spiritual quest, and I looked at all different kinds of religions, different backgrounds, etc. And so when I was a late teen, that was already happening. And when I was a late teen is when I realized that various aspects of my own life weren't working well. And so probably around then is when my own real healing, spiritual healing, personal development really took place. And it's not like I was doing it constantly, day after day, but it would be, okay, things aren't going well for me right now, work on it, look at this layer of my onion. Further down the line, okay, some more stuff is coming up. Let's look at what can I do to help myself. Do I need help with this? Oftentimes I did. And it would be taking off that next layer. And so that's how it's been for probably, over 20 years.
Okay. I would say that you're kind of lucky in the fact that you grew up in a household that accepted therapy, that knew that you couldn't do it on your own. You need a mirror, you need that other person to facilitate your release and your own healing.
Yeah.
I think it's really lucky. I didn't grow up in that environment at all, and it wasn't until I was in my 30s that I kind of thought, oh my gosh, someone's got to help me here. So you had a head start.
I suppose, yeah. And I was lucky.
Yeah.
To have that, and it is a gift, and it means for me that I'm able, I suppose, to relate to others who are going through this journey now, or first are beginning to look at this kind of, whatever healing they need for themselves, because I've already done it.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So just backtracking a little bit and going back into your practice. So, as you're a transformational coach, yeah, yeah, and yeah. So when you're channeling and you're working one-to-one with somebody, and then you leave it and you carry on and you maintain a relationship with them, so you get to know them quite well. I just wonder what kind of self-care that you practice. I'm quite big on that myself, and I often find that healers and channels in particular aren't terribly good with their own boundaries. They aren't terribly good at staying grounded, and their own clients can actually bring up their own stuff often.
Yeah, well, I mean,
ask the question.
Yeah, and part of that, my thought on it too is that part of that is because we genuinely, and it's not to say you have to be a healer to want to help, but we genuinely want to help people so much that it can be very easy for us to ignore our own needs because we have such a passion and such a drive to help other people with theirs. Mm-hmm. I've been wanting to help people since I was a little girl. You know, I've always felt this drive. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I relate to what you've shared a lot. And something I am finding and continuing to find as I go through my own journey is that, yeah, self-care is so important. And there are loads of reasons why. One of them is that the adage, some of people watching as well may have heard this, that you can't fill anyone else's cup if yours is run dry. Mm-hmm. You literally will not have enough energy. You will not have the mind space. You won't feel at your best. Mm-hmm. And we all want to be able to be our best for our clients, whatever that means to us. But also we are incredible beings. Each of us is an amazing, incredible being, an incredible spirit, but we are also spiritual beings having a human and bodily experience. And so we have to work within the realms of what, of the body that we're in, what that means in the world that we're currently living in. You can stretch things, space-time continuum, you can get into all of that. But in general, we do have a finite amount of energy and time for any given day in any given session. So having self-care in place to take care of our time, our energy, so we're not stretched. When we're with a session with a client, let's say, we're not worried about, oh man, I have to make sure I end this fast because I have to rush to go to an appointment, afterwards. So making sure little things like making sure that you have enough time before and after each session to take care of yourself and your energy so you're not rushing around is important. Sleep. Very important, especially those of us who own and run our own businesses. We know this all too well. Sleep and having enough can get away from us, and no one, I don't care how evolved you are, no one is at their best if they're feeling ratty from lack of sleep. So that's really key. Making sure I drink enough water is something that's been a huge gift. That's been revolutionary for me. I had no idea I was dehydrated before.
Most people don't, because we lose our thirst reflex, and a lot of the time we think we're hungry.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I also have one of my physical manifestations is hypoglycemia, which in layman's terms, low blood sugar.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure that, I have my small meals, small snacks throughout the day, and that's crucial for me as well. Yeah. And, if I'm feeling a bit stressed, a bit like I've had a really busy week, I haven't had a lot of time for myself because I'm also, what's the word? Oh, I'm losing my train of, Sarah, you can help me. What is, and I apologize to everyone, but what is, I'm an introvert. Thank you.
There you go.
So I'm an introvert, which also means my energy in my own cup can run dry really quickly if I'm not careful, and I get even more ratty. And so self-care is really crucial to me. And luckily, I'm so grateful. I've learned, and I have no qualms about saying, to my partner or anyone else, I'm really sorry, but I just need space right now. Mm-hmm. And I literally will just go outside for a while, go for a walk, or I'll shut myself in the other room and watch, a movie or read a book or meditate or whatever it is I need to do. I've learned to listen to my own intuition very well. Not that I'm perfect, but, I've learned how important that is. Yeah. So self-care is crucial, and there are lots of different kinds of self-care.
Cool. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I think probably finally the last thing I'd like to ask you, Krista, is if you had your vision for your business, your practice out there and multicolored for the future, what would it be?
Oh, Sarah, that's dream time.
That's a big question. Little bit. Give me a little bit.
Yeah. So definitely part of it's already happening.
Okay.
Online, location free, the ability to be anywhere in the world. What I see for me, I used to call it an empire. Empire feels like that's not quite the right word now. It feels like the point of where I'm going is to help people all over the world and to connect in whatever way I can. So one-to-one coaching and healing sessions, I'm feeling is going to be very crucial to that. I also see workshops and retreats, virtual and face-to-face, meeting people where they are all over the world. I have a longer-term vision that actually came to me a few years ago, and I've been meeting other people, and it's kind of funny, they're having similar visions, I'm realizing. Yeah, and essentially it's to have an international event that is timed, that's synchronized, so that everywhere in the world will be doing things all at the same time, and to either have it be like, a week-long thing, or we'll see what comes from it. But I see it as being and I felt it as being very multimedia, multi-experience. I don't know, we'll go from there. I have in my back hat a documentary, and I'm feeling that, things like Blab, so the video, this type of work with people is going to be so important because it's another way to connect. We're all here, I feel, and I'm sure you must feel this too. We are all here to help one another and to help raise the consciousness and to help each of us to expand our awareness, to raise our vibrations, to raise our own energies, because we are connected. And through that, we will be helping the earth as well. And that, it just feels so crucial for me. And I've been feeling that for a few years now, and it's only getting stronger as more and more of us wake up. That's another way to put it. Our time is now.
It is, Krista. Thank you. Thank you ever so much for joining us. We've got about 3 minutes left. I don't know if anybody's got any questions for Krista, if you want to put it in the chat box. And Krista, do you want to put your website and information about you in the chat box there? That'd be lovely.
Yeah, I would love to. I'll do that right now. For everyone, at the moment, it's my Facebook page. And some of you may already know that. So I'll put it here.
Thank you, Antonina. I see that you joined us.
Oh, hello. Thank you.
So, you got a website at all, Krista?
I've put it in. It's my Facebook page.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Do I need to put it somewhere else?
No. That's great. That's great. Okay, well, I don't think there's any other questions coming. Thank you, everybody that's joined us and listened, and thank you, Krista, for sharing with us. I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Again, this has been such a joy and so lovely to connect with you more and speak with you more, and for everyone to have been able to join us too. Thank you.
You take care, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Absolutely. All the best. Thank you. Bye.